So how you feeling, Virg? Close to the fight. How's the mindset right now for you and Amir?
Mindset for me is always got a good night's sleep, relaxed, and I'm sure it's the same for him.
Is there any different preparation you got to do with him for this fight, considering you guys are going up in weight, Virgil? Anything different that you guys are doing this close to the fight?
No, just eat more, drink more, makes them happy,
Is it literally as simple as that, Virgil? It's just eat and drink more, you're not doing anything different because of the weight?
No, no matter what you do for the weight, you're not going to be able to compete with the weight. I would be foolish to compete with the weight.
Yeah.
Because no matter what I do, I can weightlifting and stuffing and everything, he's not going to be able to compete with the weight. So we have to work to our strength. So the weight, that would have been foolish to try to come up and weigh too much weight. I was letting him weigh what he normally weighs.
Because of that and the speed issue and everything, does that mean in theory he's going to come in as light as possible, as he reasonably can on fight night?
You mean Amir?
Yeah.
I expect him to be 60, 61. One thing he can't do is stuff himself, try to match weight, So, look, a middleweight can knock out a heavyweight, he's not a true middleweight. But if you stop and think about it, neither is Canelo. He came through the weight classes also. He started out, I believe, at 140, 147. So it's not like he came into the game a middleweight, but I understand he was amateur and, and came through a young kid fighting like Amir, but Amir came through the weight classes also. It's just at some point he got a little heavy, but he wasn't a 6'5", 11" kid and amateur like Algeri fighting 160 and 165 and stayed there for 2 years. You have to settle into that weight to be a true middleweight.
Hey, Virgil, sorry. Your fighter, Amir Khan, he said he believes he's stronger than Miguel Cotto. You agree with that or what?
In the ring, as far as his movements is concerned, as far as fighting on the move, it's quite possible. As far as sitting down and planting a punch in, it's debatable, and the reason why is because Amir doesn't have that type of killer instinct that Miguel Cotto has. If he had that type of killer instinct, then I think we could really know if his punch was in comparison with it. But I'll tell you this much, his left hook to the liver, I'll match him with anybody. When he put Madonna down, when he can hit to the body with it underneath, he can really hit to the body. And he's got a buggy whip effect to his punches, so it's a pop, a snap. So if he hits you, you don't see it, he can do some damage now. Collazo found it out, so if he gets it right at the right time.
A lot of fans,
speed behind it.
A lot of fans have really criticized Khan's performance against Chris Algeri, and they're basically saying if he struggled against Chris Algeri, how's he gonna have a chance against Canelo? What do you say about that?
Well, I never got into business for the fans because I would be seeking the wrong approval. So you do have fights that differ out to make it appear that it was a difficult fight. Actually, it's one of his best fights to me for the simple reason he did not do what he was supposed to do the week of the fight. And I warned him. He didn't think it was going to be a difficult fight, and I warned him, and I warned him, and I warned him. And it's obvious he didn't listen. He called a bad cold Wednesday. I never said it. And I told him Algeri had his mind made up. He was going to win. And when a man's got his mind made up he's going to win, you're going to have a tough fight until you convince him he can't win. But it was the last 4 rounds. When he realized he was in a tough fight, he showed me his competitiveness, you see. And it was Algeri who wore down once we got around the 9th and the 10th, and he, crossed the finish line. So that showed me something else. Virgil, he's competitive.
Is Canelo's power overrated, being that he's only knocked out James Kirkland 2? Will he stand in there for that 5th and 6th punch combination? Will he stay on his bicycle? Sorry,
I don't advise him to stay in there and just trade punches with Canelo. Listen, I give him the benefit of the doubt that he can punch. But if I had to compare him with what I consider true punchers, I'd say he falls a little bit underneath. Because hit Alfredo Angulo with every punch invented, and then some. And Alfredo never stopped going forward. You know, and then the next guy, De La Rosa, hit him one time and knocked him out. So, and Alfredo was a dead man in that fight. Trust me, I know. He was fighting to get in the bathroom on the way, and that fight didn't even happen because he fainted. Right? But then I caught him. He was so, you know, he just didn't do what he was supposed to do. But I mean, the record speaks for itself. I don't even think I have to, you know, get too deep into it. Only knocked out 154 pounds. Nowhere near stopping Kogo. Nowhere near stopping nowhere near stopping what's the other 50? Not the other 54. Trout. So maybe it was their skills. You know, maybe it wasn't.
You mentioned Amir not having killer instinct. How much better a fight than Amir had killer instinct? Is there a chance we might see that in this fight?
No, you can't call it a killer instinct. That has to be you. You know, that has to be in you a long time ago. You know, when you first come, you see kids come in the gym and they want to hurt somebody right away. You know, that's killer instinct. You know, they get beat up and they right back the next day. See, with vengeance, like I'm gonna get you. You know, I've seen that. Right? So that's a trait. But he has competitiveness. So competitiveness done right, you can sort of put him in the same class. You know, but no, I don't advise him to trade punches with him because he's giving up too much.
How much better would he be if he had that killer instinct?
Hard to say. I can only deal with him from the time he can up to this point. So it's hard to say.
Virgil, we talk about his size a lot, and a lot of people think he might lose speed. Have you noticed any lack of speed, or is the speed still there from what you can see? Because a lot of people were concerned when they saw his biceps being so big.
No, he has not lost any speed. Amir is a big kid, bigger than most people realize. So he has not lost any speed. He didn't do anything for his biceps. No weights, no nothing like that. I believe a Photoshop or something. See, he doesn't even look like he's 60.
In Amir's musculature and his strength and conditioning, graduate over a period of time, detail that to Amir's moves to do that?
No, I mean, look, the pneumatic training, the pneumatic equipment that I have at the gym is not weights. It's pneumatic. So it's isometric more or less work. So stamina for endurance, muscular endurance. So it's not the size. So if you condition a guy and he's able to eat what he wants, right? And not have to cut, it'll be nice. So, you know, nothing drastic was done.
So it's a very natural process. Quite so much weight cutting.
Well, he was struggling with 47 the last two fights. So, you know, I felt that by the time he was 30, that he would probably be into the 54-pound class. You know, I felt that he has some bone structure. He's a 9.5 shooter. Long arms, wide, broad shoulders. His growth plates are still open behind the shoulder blade. So, you know, he has some room for natural size to become a mature size come on.
Amir has 21 knockouts to his 33 wins. That's like 60% ratio. Would you be surprised if he scored a knockout? Would you be surprised?
No. I would be surprised if he went for a knockout and got one, but I wouldn't be surprised if the elements presented themselves and maybe the kid didn't see the punch and he caught him in the right spot. Anybody could be knocked out.
Virgil, how excited about your year in boxing? You have a clear path to trainer of the year. You're in the two and probably three of the biggest fights of the year. As a trainer, how important is this year for your career?
To be honest about it, I don't give it a thought. You know, you let your peers judge you. I didn't get into it for accolades. And I mean, if I did that, I'd never had an Angulo. I'd have never started with a Kareem Mayfield at 22, a Brandon Gonzalez at 23, just coming into the gym. If it was about that, I still wouldn't be working with amateurs if it was about that. I don't need to eat on a fighter. I'm secure and I really don't think about it.
Since the angle of fight, which advances have you seen in Canelo since the angle of fight?
Which what now?
Which advances? Which has he improved?
As far as where he is improved?
Yeah.
Well, you know, the more you fight and as he ages, he matures. You know, each fight is a growing experience, so I would definitely say he's better now than he was then. Most definitely. But I mean, as far as me staying glued to him and watching him, no, I don't do that. But improvement is inevitable. You know, it's obvious he's improved.
A lot of people have described this.
Would you be happy for Amir to stay at this weight now? Does that open the door to maybe Golovkin in the future? Or do you want to think about that?
Hard to say. It really is. You just have to deal with this one. I never even really thought. I would be doing him a disservice if I just let my mind wander like that, because I might do it that Saturday night. I got to really be watching it, so you know my mind is on what he has to do Saturday night.
Virgil, is Amir real comfortable at this weight? Like you said, he was kind of hard for him to make 47. He seems so confident. Do you think you have to really get in him to not stay in the pocket, like where he thinks he can stand in there because of his confidence at this weight?
Look, you know, when the fight starts, we have a plan, right? If he deviates from the plan, then he has to answer those questions himself if it doesn't work. However, if he's successful on what he senses and feels, and I'm seeing him, I'm gonna be on the same page with him. That's my job, is to try to guide him through, but part of guiding is trusting him also. So we have a basic plan, a very simple plan.